First Intermediate Period, the time of political chaos, of local rulers, and of artistic innovation which has been thrown upon Egypt's once unified state. Let us explore this exciting Dark Age of ancient Egypt. First Intermediate Period, spanning from approximately 2181 to 2055 BCE, was a time of significant political fragmentation and social upheaval in ancient Egypt. This era followed the decline of the Old Kingdom and marked a departure from the centralized authority that had characterized earlier periods. The First Intermediate Period is often referred to as a Dark Age in Egyptian history due to the breakdown of the unified state and the rise of local rulers, known as nomarchs, who controlled different regions of the country. During this time, Egypt was divided into multiple independent polities, with no single ruler able to exert control over the entire country. This period is traditionally divided into two main phases, the 7th and 8th dynasties, which continued to rule from Memphis but held little real power, and the 9th and 10th dynasties, which were based in Heracleopolis in Lower Egypt. Concurrently, a rival dynasty emerged in Thebes, in Upper Egypt, leading to a prolonged period of conflict between the north and south. Despite the political instability, the First Intermediate Period was also a time of cultural and artistic development, as local rulers sought to legitimize their power through the patronage of art, literature, and religious practices. Causes of political fragmentation. The causes of political fragmentation during the First Intermediate Period were multifaceted, involving a combination of internal and external factors. One of the primary reasons for the decline of central authority was the weakening of the pharaonic state during the later years of the Old Kingdom, particularly under the long reign of Pharaoh Pepi II. As the power of the central government waned, local officials, or nomarchs, began to assert greater autonomy, effectively becoming independent rulers of their respective regions. The economic strain caused by the extensive pyramid-building projects of the Old Kingdom, coupled with environmental challenges such as low Nile floods and resulting famines, further exacerbated the situation. These hardships led to widespread social unrest, as the central government was unable to provide for the needs of the population or maintain control over distant provinces. Additionally, the erosion of the divine authority of the pharaoh, who was no longer seen as an infallible ruler, contributed to the fragmentation of the state. As different regions of Egypt began to operate independently, rival factions emerged, leading to conflicts between the various nomarchs and the eventual division of the country into multiple competing entities. Life during the First Intermediate Period. Life during the First Intermediate Period was marked by significant regional variation, as the centralized state of the Old Kingdom gave way to a patchwork of independent territories, each with its own local ruler. In some regions, particularly in Upper Egypt, life continued relatively unchanged, with local rulers maintaining order and overseeing agricultural production. However, in other areas, particularly in the northern regions of Lower Egypt, the breakdown of central authority led to social and economic instability. The loss of centralized control meant that many of the state-sponsored projects, such as the construction of large temples and tombs, came to a halt. As a result, local communities became more self-reliant, with smaller-scale agricultural production and local trade networks emerging to meet the needs of the population. The period also saw a shift in burial practices, with a move away from the grandiose tombs of the Old Kingdom to more modest, locally built structures. Despite the challenges, the First Intermediate Period was also a time of resilience and adaptation, as the people of Egypt found new ways to navigate the uncertainties of their changing world. literature and cultural developments. While the first intermediate period is often characterized by political and social turmoil, it was also a time of significant cultural and literary development. One of the most notable literary works from this period is the Instructions of Merikare, a wisdom text that offers advice on governance and the responsibilities of a king. This text reflects the concerns of the time, particularly the importance of maintaining order and justice in a period of instability. Another important literary work is the Admonitions of Epure, a pessimistic poem that laments the social upheaval and chaos of the period. The first intermediate period also saw the development of new artistic styles, as local rulers sought to assert their legitimacy through the patronage of the arts. Sculpture, painting, and pottery from this period often reflect a more regional and less standardized style than the highly formalized art of the Old Kingdom. In addition to these artistic developments, the period saw the continuation of religious practices, with local cults and temples playing a central role in community life. The first intermediate period, therefore, represents a time of both cultural continuity and innovation, as the people of Egypt adapted to the challenges of their time while preserving their artistic and literary traditions. If you want to watch all the parts of ancient Egypt's history, click the playlist in the bottom right corner. It has everything in one place.